Shalom, shalom. This message is entitled Consistently Overcoming Anxiety Disorders. Consistently Overcoming Anxiety Disorders. So just a quick brief overview. So the anxiety I'm talking about is when your body goes into fight or flight mode, which is normal when there's a clear and apparent danger, right? Or you start obsessing over, apparent issues, right? I don't know how I'm gonna pay this bill, or I've been having heart pains or chest pains, right? This is the level of normal anxiety. I'm not saying to stay with it or live with it, but that's not what I'm addressing tonight. What I'm addressing is when you have an unhealthy level of anxiety. You have excessive, persistent, and uncontrollable dread or worry, right? Your brain chemistry, you have low serotonin and high norepinephrine, right? These are the things that's supposed to regulate your moods, right? These are the things that's supposed to regulate to keep you from having unhealthy panic attacks and anxiety attacks, right? So whether you have what is classified as GAD, which is generalized anxiety disorder, panic attack disorder, or obsessive compulsive disorder, which is classified as OCD, I'm just going to give you some biblical and practical applicable things that can help you consistently overcome anxiety disorders. And I'm speaking from a place of experience, not just looking from far away. I'm speaking from the inside out. Hallelujah. So this is a encouragement to and strengthening tools from the from the words of the Most High Yah that can help you consistently overcome anxiety disorders. I say consistently because it's a daily fight. Um, One of the things that can help, a practical tool, is called a distraction technique. And you have distraction techniques that you can use when the mind is focused on the creation of Yah. So the distraction techniques appeals to your five senses. So when you're having these high panic attacks or high levels of anxiety, you can't function because your body is in the fight or flight mode. First, you have to bring it down in order to be able to process, right? So what you can do, your five senses are touch, sight, hear, smell, and taste, right? So what you can do when you start to have these uncontrollable panic attacks and you can't even process your thoughts, you start to say, okay, what am I tasting? What food has the Most High created and blessed me with? What am I hearing? Am I hearing Yah's creation? Well, I'm hearing the birds chirping or the crickets. What am I seeing? I'm seeing the clouds. I always recommend, if you can look outside, I'm seeing the trees of the Most High's creation, right? What am I smelling? Am I smelling some good aromas? Maybe some candles, or some good food that the Most High is providing. What am I touching? I'm touching the ground, right? I'm touching this chair. I'm touching something else that the Most High created, right? So these are just ways to hurry up and bring yourself to a mindset where you can now function and at least process. So now you can get your prayer life together. You can start to recall some of these verses that I'm going to go over. And the hope is that as I go over them, you start to commit them to memory. So it becomes like muscle memory, right? It's instinct. The same way you automatically turn on your turn signal when you're driving. The same way you automatically close the refrigerator door after going inside it, right? It's muscle memory. So the first verse I'm going to look at, and I'm just going to touch on a couple, is Isaiah 41:10. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10, and it reads, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God," or your Eluah. "I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." And these are things that we have to remind ourselves, right? There's a constant focus on knowing the Most High, the creator of heaven and earth, knowing he's got you, even though you're feeling what you're feeling, right? Even though you're experiencing what you're experiencing. Um, As a side note, remember and keep in mind, it shall pass. It shall pass. I know when you're experiencing high levels of anxiety or panic attacks that's lasting hours upon hours and sometimes days upon days, to keep in mind that it will pass. And the Most High says, fear not, for I'm with you. So you're not alone in this. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I am your creator, right? I will strengthen you. And that's what you need, because this stuff had you feeling so weak and defeated, right? He says, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand, because that anxiety can have you feeling torn down, whether it's social anxiety, where it's hard for you to go to social events or even work a job, have a personal relationship, right? He's saying, fear not, for I'm with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And that right there, it takes the confidence off of what you're going through, because you could feel defeated or low. And it's placing it in his hands, because he's saying, I got you. Excuse me. I got you. Right? The same way when my little son is walking down the street and he sees an animal that he's a little fearful of, and I grab hold of his hand. He isn't the one that he's placing his confidence in at the time. He's placing his confidence in me. So that's what we're supposed to do when it comes to the fear and anxiety and the constant worrying, the panic attacks, and the things you're going through. We're supposed to be grabbing hold of the Most High's hand. Not that our confidence is in ourselves. Our confidence is in him. Second verse is 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. And it says, for Yah gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power, love, and of self-control. Right? Now, I understand there's certain things that go on within the brain chemistry, and there's certain things that can help vitamin D, and I think there's vitamin B6 or something like that. You had to look that up for me if I'm a little off. Excuse me. But it's saying he didn't give us this spirit of fear, right? It don't come from him. Whether this consistent anxiety might be generational, might be environmental, might be something that came from your past history, might be something you go through or you went through, or it could be in the brain chemistry, or a combination like spaghetti, all intertwined, right? But it said we don't have to stay in that, right? You don't have to stay in that. Whatever level you're experiencing now, you don't have to stay in that level, right? And I'm not saying this thing gets cured, right? Paul had a thorn in his side. This may be the thorn in your side, right? But it can become manageable. So you can function in the purpose that the Most High is calling you to function in. You can have a productive career. You can have a family life. And I'm speaking to the ones that this thing really is giving them a hard road, a hard way to go. Most people don't understand it, but I'm saying I'm here to say I understand it. I not only sympathize, but I empathize with you. Hallelujah. So it says, for Yah didn't give us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. So if he didn't get that spirit, if he didn't get that ruach, then you know it comes from the wicked one. Or it comes from our flesh, right? Because there's something in our flesh that always wants to be in control. And when it's lacking control, that's when some of that worry kick in. I'm going to get to this one. Psalms 34, verse 4. It says, I sought Yahuwah and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. So the key for that deliverance of the fear, for that key for some of that relief from the anxiety or the panic attacks or the obsessive compulsive disorder is the seeking of the Most High. Seeking him, studying, praying, reading, fellowship, fasting. Go on them walks and start talking to him. Sitting him in the quiet, right? Play some worship music. Get your mind geared where you're seeking him, and that's where that deliverance is going to come. I sought Yahuwah and he answered me and delivered me, rescued me, saved me from this anxiety. Yeah. Next verse, Philippians 4:6. Says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with, keyword, thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to Yahuwah. And the peace of Yahuwah, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your mind. And Yahushua Mashiach. That with thanksgiving is when you thank him for the things he brought you through. Because if he can bring you through yesterday, with you battling all you battle, then he can bring you through today. A lot of y'all have already come a long way. A lot of y'all have already come a long way. And even though you facing some mountains, you done already overcame some mountains with the power of the Most High Yah. All right? So don't be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, cry out to him and remember what he brought you through. Because if he brought you through that, he could bring you through this. Hallelujah. Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious about itself. Sufficient for the day is his own trouble. And this is one of the key ones, man, because projecting and trying to figure out tomorrow, next week, next month, that don't do nothing but add to that. That don't do nothing but put a strain and more stress on you. That's part of self-control that we read about in 2 Timothy. That self-control is saying, all right, Father, I'm going to sit it in your hands and I'm going to live today. Because the truth of the matter, his mercies are new every day. There's a re-up. We ain't guaranteed tomorrow. Ain't no telling what could happen, right? He can bless you insurmountably tomorrow, okay? But it's a discipline of saying, all right, I'm not saying you don't prepare and you don't get things situated, but that obsessing for tomorrow, you got to sit that down, because that don't help at all. That is counterintuitive. That is the opposite of what you're trying to get. All right. So living today. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow worry about itself. And the last verse, Matthew 11, 28 to 30. Matthew 11, 28 to 30. I thought I had it pulled up. I'll just go off the top. It says, come to me, all you who labor and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Learn from me, for I am lowly and gentle in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And this was Yahusha. He's saying, come to me. So when he talks about, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light, that's just a farming analogy. So they would take a older, more mature bull or cow, and they would yoke it with this wooden tool. You had to Google it, to a weaker and younger cow or bull. And all that weaker one had to do was stay in sync and follow the stronger one. And the stronger one was doing most of the pulling and most of the lifting, right? And this is what he's saying. I got you. Remember, fear not, for I'm with you. Come to me, all you are laboring and heavy laden. I'm going to give you rest. I didn't give you a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. I sought Yahuwah, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Right? Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow worry about itself. Today got enough trouble of his own. I'm going to leave you with this picture. If anybody's ever done some weightlifting, and you've been lifting up, you plan on lifting a lot of weight, one of the things you want is a spotter to kind of just help you along the way. So a lot of times we look at Yahusha like, okay, thank you. He's going to be my spotter. But he's saying, nah, I want to switch places. He's going to get on the bench. And he's saying, all you got to do is put your hands right by mine. I'm going to do the heavy lifting, and you just flow with me. The Most High got you. Stay close to him. Seek him. Trust in him. You need him. I need him. I hope this is beneficial, and this is out of love. Shalom, shalom.